Hello, listener.
Welcome.
Where last we left off, it's been a while. In real time, it feels like.
It has been a while.
But Brae,
Hello.
Igmarel sort of looked to you as this handful of guards is out on the coast, kind of like mulling around. Believe you've been released here to kind of sit tight until your ship is fixed.
Mm-hmm.
But what are you doing?
First things first, I'm going to go to my quarters.
Yep.
I'm going to cast a little sending.
Okay.
To my friend. Let me get my notes. Where are you? Kirsten.
Yep.
Because how many days has it been since Brae left?
Since Brae left.
Yeah, the Silk Fleet. Like since Valencia passed.
Your carousing started on the 8th. It is now the 13th.
So 5 days. Okay, so that's what I thought. Okay, cool. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and cast Sending.
Mm-hmm.
And say... Oh, do I have what I want to say? I don't think so. Hello, my friend. How is it going? Were you able to make any progress with my little problem?
The message hangs in the air for that precious few minutes, after which you realize there is not going to be a response.
Oh, is he on a different planet? Failed?
It's possible. There is that 5% chance. That's also possible he has nothing of value to say or doesn't want to respond, or that he has failed completely in his task.
And it's dead.
And is dead.
Do I know if it...
All you would know... Ooh, it's the same as targeting like an invalid target with a spell.
Yeah.
So all you know is there's no response.
Interesting. I'm gonna send one more time.
Sure.
I really hope you're not dead. That would be quite inconvenient for me.
Again, there is no response.
Alright, and with that, I'll head back up. I'm guessing the girls are on the deck, or go find the girls.
As you are heading up, you're kind of getting up to the top of the stairs, you can hear like an argument happening on the top deck.
Between Igmarel and Ornessa?
How could you guess? As you're kind of heading up the stairs, it's, no, absolutely not. Ornessa, you go too far. And at this point, kind of accepts. Ornessa kind of has like her arms folded, kind of just like glowering up at Igmarel.
Do you two ever get along?
Brae, I'm trying. Igmarel makes it very difficult. She's kind of like kicking absently at the ground here.
What's happening?
Igmarel kind of turns. Ornessa wants to bring Side Eyes a friend aboard the ship when we depart.
Who?
Ornessa sort of, well, there was that...
Oh, with that guard?
There was the night, and we've just been getting along very well, and I don't know, there's room in my room, so...
Is there? You're sharing a room with
She
Glimmer.
can sleep on the couch. Or she can make a corner her own. I don't care. I'm just...
Well, you're welcome to bring people onto the ship.
She turns to Igmarel and like makes a face.
But I think for now, we should have some fun while we're here. I say we go chat with the king and queen and maybe, see if they'll throw a little ball. I'm sure we can. And I'll like give like a pointed like look and smile to Ornessa. Convince them.
There's a look of giddiness as she kind of, oh yes, are we all going together, or?
I mean, whoever wants. I think Miria's still fixing the ship.
Yeah.
I may go check on her and see how she's doing before we leave, but whoever wants to come is willing to come, or is more than welcome. We should talk about... I think this place has gone without magic for long enough. I think we should liberate them, if I may.
Both faces here of Ornessa and Igmara light up at that wording.
Yeah.
For similar reasons. But there's a fiendish look in each of their eyes.
Yes.
They sort of nod in agreement. Igmara sort of... We can get started whenever you're ready.
Let's see about that ball. Could
Of
make
course.
quite a statement. Just give me 1 minute, and I'll head down to the glyph rings.
Yes, down this 2 flights of stairs. As you can see Miria down here, holding these different rings in hand, kind of like comparing them, and she's got like a little book open where she's been like making sketches of them.
How's it going down here?
It's good. She's like up on the stairs because there's like water down below. I've collected all the rune rings.
Okay.
I'm going to let them dry out before I do anything. I don't know if water will affect magic. It's a shame because I don't think we have anyone else. Normally we'd take these to the Silk Fleet.
Yeah, fair. I can't really do that.
No.
You've seen your fair share of them, though. I think you can get them working.
I'm going to try my best. It could be some time.
How long is some time?
Well, if I may be so open with my experience here, I've never repaired something like this before. If a rune ring is cracked, that's one thing. There are spells you can cast to mend them. But this, it's a full deactivation. We'd need some sort of kind of like motions your hand over where they're kind of like laid out. A discharge or something to cause it to come to life. The rings are self-sustaining once they're activated, but...
So they need a spell cast on them. A spell cast on them?
Yes, but probably a very powerful spell. Something with a lot of arcane... kind of like motions of punch, yeah.
Do you know what that might be?
I'm afraid not. We can try some things.
Maybe.
But I'll get it set up beforehand. Once we have them arranged in the proper order, they do, and she kind of like picks up another one and like sticks them together. And there's a little click.
Yeah.
Almost magnetic. And like they do stay, and she kind of like holds it out, and then it kind of droops a little bit. So there is a little bit of energy that can hold them together.
They just need a little push, a little jump start.
Yes, once they're arranged and we've fixed everything, at which point I'll let you know. I'm going to keep tinkering with these though, just in case there's anything I can do, any magic I can work.
Well, if you need anything, just let us know. We can try and figure it out. Once they're all organized, we can try firing off some spells.
And I heard there was some... You're going back, perhaps?
Yes.
I see.
It's going to take a while. We might as well get to know the royalty here. Never know when we'll be back through.
Yes, Valencia says it's good to make connections.
That it is.
Some good that did her, but, yes, I think it'll be good for you and for our efforts here, whatever they may be, to stay connected with others.
Yes. Well, if you need anything, we'll be back in a bit.
Of course.
Do you need anything before we go?
No, as waterlogged as our supplies are, I think I can find something edible down there and make do for myself.
We'll bring you some food if we have any chance. Maybe we'll send some guards with it. We'll see.
I see, yes. Well, best of luck to you in this endeavor of yours.
And you as well. Hopefully you can get it up and running lickety-split.
Kind of like pushes some hair out of her face and kind of gets back to work trying to tinker with these things. She's not really in a position to start making breakthroughs, but, she's...
Give her a little guidance before we go.
You know,
Yeah, one.
So it's a 1. But you know, she's working on it, doing her best.
Nice.
As you head back up to the top deck.
Yeah.
Up here, you find Igmarel, Ornessa, and
Glimmer.
Glimmer kind of like staring over the side of the ship, kind of turns and gives you a wave.
What you looking at?
Oh, just the fish.
Ah. Are they normal fish?
Are you peering over?
Yeah.
It's pretty murky water here. But yeah, sure enough, there is a little like fish going along.
Just like a regular old fish.
Glimmer's like, I'll be honest, Brae, I'm, not doing much at the moment. I heard we were heading back. I wanted to see the wildlife.
Well.
Farmland is so, it's not like that in the Fairwood.
No, it's not.
No. Are we off then?
We're off. Let's go. Let's
Yes.
go to the palace. See what's happening. And I'll grab my girls and disembark.
Ornessa sort of, Brae, just so I'm on the same page, do I have to keep up the fake face or can I go back now?
Have they seen your real face?
Some of them have.
Have the king and queen?
Not yet.
Keep it fake for now.
Okay. I just fluffs up the hair a little bit. And you're heading back.
Yeah.
As you do, one of the guards kind of like, confused almost, kind of walks over. Stop there, please.
Is there a problem?
You're returning to the castle.
Yeah, it's gonna be a while. We thought we would maybe get some supplies in town.
We can
Head to
retrieve some supplies for you.
Well, I thought maybe make somewhat of a diplomatic, not mission, but diplomatic visit, as I am royalty.
You were just there.
I know, but that was very brief. Why not get to know, see if we can get an audience, get to know the king and queen a little bit.
Well, it's beyond my call to make, but I won't stop you if that's your true desire. But just know that if the king and queen are slighted by your return, obviously there's nothing I could have done.
No, there's not.
We'll stay here and guard your ship then.
Sounds good. Thank
Kinda
you.
like straightens and kind of goes back to the tree.
Is Ornessa's guard here? Like
No.
her knight? Okay.
As he kind of goes back, one of the guards is like, yeah, you told her, and he's like shaking his head.
Yeah, we'll start walking back to town.
Back up through the fields.
Yeah.
At this point, I believe it's relatively early in the morning. I could have that wrong, but you solve the problem late at night, and then in the morning you have the audience. So as you make your way back into town, to that kind of like stretch of road that winds up to the mountaintop, guards give you strange looks. Some of them maybe looking a little bit aggressive, but none of them move to stop you as you make your way up to the castle. It's not until you make your way to the final gate to the castle itself that these two knights kind of block your path. One of which is Ornessa's.
We'd like another audience with the king and queen.
An audience?
I guess an audience. Last one was not necessarily such.
My lady, you do not simply request an audience with the king and queen in this manner. What is the purpose of this?
I was gonna see. It seems like it'll be a while until our ship is flying ready. Thought maybe we could make some peace, get to know each other a little bit.
I don't believe our fair king and queen were looking to have extended conversations with you after the crash and all that. My understanding was this was more of a pardon they had given you.
What?
The other guards kind of like giving him like a look and then like trying not to make eye contact with Ornessa.
The one that was with Ornessa?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, seeing as we're pardoned, then we're not at any fault for anything. We did save the town from those nasty little vampires.
I believe that was the source of your pardon more than anything. I
doubt good things would have happened in Wellington were we not here.
Be that as it may, I will speak on your behalf to them. should not take more than an hour to arrange this. And I will make the request from a neutral party. Kind of like turns on his heel and heads in. Leaving the other knight here. Still, like, Ornessa keeps kind of like trying to meet his eyes, and he keeps kind of looking away. Igmarel and Glimmer are with you. And neither of them are particularly subtle in their stances here, but their appearances. Yeah. Big wings out. Igmarel sort of, you went through here before.
Yes.
I see. If there is any issue, I don't think anyone here can hurt you.
Yeah, I doubt that.
They can, however, hurt the opulence.
That's true.
And I would imagine, as soon as they clue into that fact, they will send a detachment to hold it hostage.
Would you like to go and make sure it's safe?
If that is your command.
So be it.
She kind of nods curtly and then launches herself off. As you kind of watch her lead turn, Ornessa's already kind of hanging off this other knight. Like, you didn't hear anything.
Is he charmed?
Doesn't...
Oh.
I mean, not in the magical sense.
Oh. But in the gorgeous woman's sense. Yeah. Nice.
So trying to put up the gallant facade a little bit. A few minutes will pass, though, unless you're planning anything.
I would like to chat with him.
Sure.
And you brave Sir Knight, what's your name?
I am Larm.
Larm?
Yes, Sir Larm.
Well, what a name you have. Where did that come from?
I'm not sure.
Parents didn't get any inspiration from anywhere? I don't know, normally names come from parents.
Well, my father's name was Larm.
Ah.
And his grandfather's name was Larm.
What was his father's name?
I don't know my family tree back that far.
Well, you said your dad and then your dad's grandfather, so what about your dad's father?
Oh, well that... His spot on the family tree is a little black smear.
So your grandfather?
Yes.
Why is that?
There was some family drama.
Family drama, you say?
Yes, you might say that. A succession error of sorts. I'm not from the eldest branch of my family by any means.
Oh.
However, we don't speak of these dramatic things. I kind of like shakes his head as Ornessa's like kind of like tugging at his hair a little bit and like brushing it out of his face. In any case, will you be staying here long?
Oh, just as long as it takes to get the ship fixed.
Do you know how long that will be?
Depends how things go.
I see. Well, I hope your time here is less eventful than it was last night.
You know, you just never know what's going to happen.
He kind of frowns at that a little bit.
I thought maybe we'll see how it goes with the king and queen. Maybe a ball of sorts is in order. Do you do those here?
We have had festivals, yes.
When's the next one supposed to be coming up?
Well, that would be the Festival of the Moon at the end of the month.
Moonmas?
I've never heard it called that before. The Festival of the Moon. The changing of fall to winter.
Yeah, okay. I've heard it called Moonmas.
That's a strange name.
Oh, it's a wonderful name. It's when my mother ascended.
That gives him pause. I should reiterate, the people of this fair city
are in great need of a party.
I was going to say are quite apprehensive of magic users such as yourself.
Have they been slighted by magic users? Have they seen the beauty of what it can do?
They have seen the safety that a world without magic can bring. while our kin of old were dying under the dragons in Visalor, our people were safe.
The dragons not come in.
Kind of like lowers his voice a little bit. Dragons have not afflicted us at any point in our history. Not as so long as this castle has stood. There are no other people who can boast of that save the elves. And perhaps those who do not build cities. But some argue that magic brings progress. I would have to say that 100 generations spent in peace here far outweighs a little spell casting. Though we do appreciate your aid. At this, the door kind of opens up. And stepping through is the bald knight, Nihilus.
Nihilus.
Yes. You have met him before.
Yes, I know
Captain
the
of
name,
the guard.
but... Wait, the captain of the guard?
Yes. Legan is the other knight. If that's...
Legan was just a knight. Nihilus?
Yes. Nylas. Legan was the knight who met you on the way in. So he was kind of the head of that party.
Oh, okay. So like a captain, but then a commander,
Yeah.
but then the captain is Nihilus?
Captain of the guard is Nihilus.
Okay, commander is Legan.
Sure.
And then Sir Larm is just a knight.
Yeah.
Cool.
Nihilus sort of steps out, flanked by 2 guards.
Mm-hmm.
My Lady Brae.
Yes.
If you would be so kind, the King and Queen have agreed to have an audience with you. Kind of like turns and gestures for you to follow.
I'll follow.
Yep. Flanked again by Glimmer and Ornessa.
None of us have any weapons on us, correct? Like, the Glimmer
Glimmer does not have any weapons.
and Ornessa
No.
doesn't either. Okay, cool. I think technically I have in my what's it called? Stuff. I got daggers and a short sword, but I wouldn't carry that around.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna uncheck it. I leave it on my ship.
You step out onto this great hall here with all the glass overlooking the valley, the fields below. At the throne are blonde-haired King Galeron and his wife Norraine in her gold dress. They have a stern yet curious look about them. The air smells faintly of something sweet, like a pastry or something. Like there's going to be some food prepared in one of the kitchens below. Sort of like gesturing for you to approach.
I'll give like a curtsy.
They both kind of like nod their heads. King Galeron sort of leans in. So soon since you left. Did you forget something?
No, I was speaking with our captain, and she said that it might be a while until she's able to get the rings up and running, and it's dreadfully boring on that ship when you're stuck, partially submerged. I was thinking it would be nice to get to know one another a little bit in the time that we have here.
Get to know?
Yes. Little tete-a-tete, royalty to royalty.
The Silk Fleet has rarely made contact with the people of Wellington. Are you looking to broker some sort of agreement?
Well, I don't speak for the Silk Fleet in that sense, but it could be beneficial to you to have an ally within the fleet. Should anything ever... I don't foresee anything happening since they've moved away from their warring... They have, right? Moved away from kind of like the war...
Largely, yeah.
But you never know what the future might bring if different people come into power.
Make me a persuasion check.
Ooh. 15.
15.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I know. Melody, where are you?
He starts to kind of frown at you a little bit.
Yeah.
You say these things, and yet you do not speak for the Silk Fleet. Surely, if we were looking to have some sort of agreement, be it for protection or otherwise, we could reach out to them directly by means of a courier, or...
How would a courier get in the sky? Especially
Usai.
one with no magic.
Usai is a great distance from here, but not an insurmountable one.
You know, it's much quicker than a courier to Usai.
What?
A member of the royal family with direct connections to the fleet.
Kind of like already shaking his head, kind of like the dismissive hand wave. If we wanted to make contact with your fleet, doing so would not be an urgent matter for us.
I just thought while I'm here, it might be beneficial. Easy to get trade in and out with ships, that whatnot. If you ever wanted to broker a deal, it might be a little easier.
Ships will not pass into our domain, as there is no magic in our domain.
Well, they don't have to go into the domain, just at the precipice. Is that what, like, the edge?
The perimeter?
Yeah, that's it.
He sort of like leans back. I know what you're trying to do. You're not the first. Nations have come here before, seeking to connect with us as a trading place or a haven of sorts. We are thankful for the services you've provided us. However, the magic that you've shown us has served its usefulness. Now, the only use in us allowing magical connections or things like that are only to serve you in leaving this place, as soon as that may be. You are welcome to use the facilities available in this city. If you have need of our produce, our farmers would be happy to lend it to you. A blacksmith or an artisan of some kind would be more than willing to lend their services as thanks for what you've done. However, don't presume to think that anything extending beyond your time here is something I or my people would be interested in. We are still very aware of the Silk Fleet's history, changed or not, and I have no need or desire to start paying them protections when these walls have stood so well for so many years.
Okay, I turned to Vanessa. Did I ever say anything about paying?
Vanessa sort of, no, I think he thinks you're gonna blackmail him. Like for protection with the airships.
Yeah, but if airships can't get in here, then their protection's kind of useless. I don't think I said anything about that.
Again, telepathically. Yeah, but Brae, we could make a trade agreement.
Well, I'm not saying this telepathically. I'm like going back and forth of like...
yeah. She will switch to telepathic for this. But Brae, if we set up an agreement with them, you could just send like a big monster in to like terrorize them again, and then they have to pay us to come in. He's probably worried about it, but like we could probably make a lot of money off them doing it.
That's true. I have a question for Daniel.
Yes.
So polymorph works with the creature's CR, you have to match it, correct?
Yes.
How does it work for like I'm level 11?
I believe it goes off your level.
So we CR 11?
Yeah.
Excellent. Okay.
And it has to be a beast, right?
A beast.
Yeah.
That sucks. I was gonna make a dragon come in.
Unfortunately not.
Okay. That's fine. Well, even with, I understand your apprehension to make any agreements or barters, but How would you feel if my companions and I hosted or paid for a festival or ball to celebrate? The people seem like they could use some lifting up after the carnage caused by those vampires.
During the time here while you wait for your ship to be repaired.
Yes.
And not a moment longer.
Well, I would like to leave as soon as our ship is fixed, but we are stuck at the moment.
And there will be no magic at this event. Of any kind.
Well, I'm inherently magic, so by that...
You won't be casting spells or inviting in strange creatures.
I will not be casting harmful spells, but there are spells to help set things up and make things happen.
Making things happen is precisely why there's so much caution about your presence.
If I may, and I'll cast prestidigitation of like some mini fireworks kind of in my hand.
Several of like the borderline guards and knights kind of reach for weapons.
I'll like wave my hand through it. Harmless, just effects. Just puts on a grander show.
You will inspire much fear with these tactics. I don't think anyone would attend a party put on with witchcraft such as this.
Oh, how sad. What sheltered lives you lead.
Sheltered and safe, yes. But there are woes that magic can bring that we do not wish to invite within our walls. Do not mistake my generosity for anything more than it is. You are here to fix your ship with magical provisions. And then we will go back to the way things were. The last thing I want is you leaving an impression on anyone here.
Who's all in the room right now?
It's the king and queen.
2 guards?
There are 2 guards at the door behind you.
Mm-hmm.
Neither of the knights are here, but there is the captain of the guard, Nihilus.
Mm-hmm.
And sorry, the 2 guards at the door are both knights. Like they're fully kitted out in armor with great swords.
Okay. So that's a no for a party.
I would say absolutely not.
What party poopers you are.
If you're looking for a festival and you are willing to fund it, and we can have a mundane festival arranged for you. There's no need for magic. There's no need for any of this unnatural carousal. We have wine and we have good food, and there are bards who can perform. Anything more than that seems excessive to me.
How much would one of these festivals cost?
How large are you looking to make it?
Grand, but not excessive.
For the local nobility, we could feast and bring in screened outsiders for 150 gold.
That was quite the jump there, sir.
You said grand but not excessive?
Mm-hmm.
I imagine that would be the price.
What about opulent?
If you're willing to put more money into this, I'm willing to fund it within reason. Did you have something in mind?
A grand ball. I have a dress I've been dying to wear.
So there is some excess then. And again, I must be cautious. I don't know what opportunities you're looking for in this. With regards to your magic.
I'll like kind of put my hands up.
Yeah.
No magic. Just...
He's gonna insight you.
That's a 26.
He trusts you.
Yeah. Nice.
Against his better judgment. Like, he's sort of thinking like, no, I've said not to. She's not gonna do magic.
No magic. Just a little light for the darkness that's been expelled.
I do think
I think it would lift the spirits of your people, and especially with having the field down just to help us get our ship back up, they could use some lightness in their life.
Fine then. For music and the inclusion of some of the common folk, let us say 600 gold.
I will give... would you be interested in a trade of sorts? Jewelry? Or
Frowns again. What sort of jewelry?
I'll, reach into my bag and pull out, 2 very, very fine, from the Amber Temple,
Yes.
ornate pieces of jewelry.
Yes. How much are they worth?
They're worth 250 each.
Yes. His eyes kind of go a little wide there. Are these magical?
No, they're just jewelry.
I will have to have my librarian look over them.
Of course.
And signals to one of the knights at the door who comes over and collects them from you.
Oh, that's 500 gold worth.
Once we've determined that they do not have a speck of magical energy on them, I would be more than willing to accept these as payment.
Wonderful. And I'll pull out... do you need the other 100, or would 500 be good for the... Just do a 500 opulence spectrum, you know?
I don't have categories for the parties that I put on, but we can make this work.
Wonderful.
Telepathically, you just hear Ornessa sort of Brae.
Yeah.
I think Valencia paid some of her bards that much, alone, for a night.
This is a very mundane affair.
It'll
be grand in their eyes.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, the stories I've heard.
Of Valencia?
Yeah.
I've heard stories too. Sad we'll never get to... Not never. Sad we won't experience that together.
One day, maybe?
One day, maybe.
She kind of there's a shift as she's just smiling off.
I meant Valencia and I.
Oh, Ornessa still thinks it's about her.
Oh.
That's her defaulting.
Fair.
Yeah. The king stands, just to kind of walk down, to kind of meet you at eye level almost.
Yeah.
Go carefully. I can't say I trust you fully just yet.
I would not expect anything less.
However, do you need to make preparations of any sort on your end for this? Do you have a speech, perhaps, or something that you wanted to contribute?
Yes.
Kind of waiting expectantly? Like what?
Like a little speech?
As long as there is no magic.
Does a speech sound magical to you?
I know how casters weave their spells. If I hear anything that's not the good maker's common, there will be knights ready to pull you from whatever stage you're on, should you attempt to cast some sort of spell in your speech. That would be very humiliating for you in front of all the common folk. I feel I should warn you.
Well, if you don't trust me, that's on you, but I just have a speech. I will have a speech. I'll just say some words.
I see.
Maybe one of my companions will as well.
Ornessa's sort of oh, me?
Can I telepathically to Ornessa?
Yeah.
You can charm crowds now, right?
I don't know. I can... Not in the same way.
But in the compel them a little bit way?
Yeah, I can compel them a little bit.
Okay, that's all I need.
Sure. Did you want me to charm the king right now? He's kind of close.
Tonight.
Okay.
I have a plan.
Yeah, sure. As the king kind of steps back from you, I will leave you to prepare your speech then.
I thank you, good sir.
Kind of sits back up on the throne, kind of pondering, as Queen Narain leans over and whispers something to him.
How fine does her dress look? On a scale of like...
This is... yeah, make me an investigation check.
Oh, I'm proficient. 22.
It is by far the finest garment, perhaps, in this kingdom.
Yep.
However...
Like about less than 25 gold worth?
Yeah, it would probably be about 30 gold, this dress.
Oh, okay.
So like
More
twice
than I
the
was
price of
expecting.
like some fine clothes.
Yeah.
But still far, far below the likes of Lyra or Valencia back home.
The dress that I wore for the pageant was the moon dress, right? Like Lyra's blue dress, I believe.
I believe so.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. I have a fine purple dress. I don't know what that means.
That was from Valencia's.
That was from Valencia's, so it's like fine.
Yes.
Nice.
Yeah.
Lovely. And I also have one of Ornessa's dresses. It's pink and green.
Yes. Yeah.
Which would be kind of where on the spectrum?
It is not expensive.
Okay, it's just fine.
It's fine.
A little scantily clad.
It is, yeah, I would not describe it as expensive or modest.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
However, Glimmer just sort of like looking around like, gives a little curtsy. Brae, are we to return to our chambers?
Yes, let's go.
The queen sort of like eyeing the three of you as you take your leave. Hasn't said anything this whole time. But she's clearly deep in thought, kind of studying each of you.
Yeah. What does a filter of love look like?
Ooh.
It's like a drink, right?
Yes.
Like a potion?
Correct. I'll see if there's any artwork online, which I won't throw up on the visual.
I mean, all the ones I hear, it's like looks pink. Like
yes,
pink and bubbly.
It's sort of, like a pink potion.
Okay. Cool. Good to know. Just for funsies.
Yeah, hypothetically.
Yeah, hypothetically.
You return to your chambers?
Yes. Girls in tow.
Yes.
We'll just head to the ship and go to like the sitting area.
Or you're gonna go back to the ship?
Oh, I have chambers here?
Yes, they have a room set up for you.
Oh, then yeah, we'll go there.
Yeah.
Well, ladies, it looks like we're gonna have some fun tonight.
Glimmer sort of, oh yes, I would love to have some fun. This party sounds lovely. As Ornessa just kind of like looms over, I would love to have some fun. This party sounds lovely.
Tell me, Ornessa, what can you do with a crowd?
Goes a little red.
My question stands.
What can't I do?
How your sway over a crowd seem to have some... Your sways seem to have some power over a crowd at the pageant.
Yeah.
How does that work?
Well, I can't give them like specific things. I just think they were all entranced by my moves. Honestly, I've never had a crowd like that act like that before.
Yes.
I think it's because of my time in the Amber Temple made me a little better at that sort of thing.
I would assume so.
So I wouldn't say it's the same as like putting a charm on someone.
Yeah.
But, we could probably get away with some stuff if I were doing that and someone else wanted to do something else.
I was thinking, the king seems awfully dull.
Yeah?
You could put on... Well, I have a couple ideas, so I want to see what you're thinking.
She kind of like sits down on the bed, like legs crossed, like, yeah.
Either we make you make yourself look like her, transform into her, or we do a little charming and maybe cause a scandal.
Oh, yeah, I would love to cause a scandal. She kind of like, as you're speaking, she kind of like, her features melt into that of the queen, into the king, and back into herself. And yeah, I can do any side of a scandal. We can do lots of scandals if you want.
You can't change your clothes, just your form. Or can you change your clothes?
No, just my form.
Okay.
I don't think the king would look very good in a dress.
Well, I'm thinking more, if you charm the king,
Yeah?
then we can cause a little scandal.
Or I could eat his soul and turn into him and take his clothes, and then you can have the king as your friend, and then you can cause a scandal with the king. And Glimmer's kind of like giving her the look. I mean...
Oh, I kind of like that.
Just a thought, you know, I don't want to...
But what happens when the people find out the king is no longer here?
We'll be gone by then, won't we?
That's fair. Oh, you're just
Sorry.
full of good ideas. I like that idea. I think we should go with that.
Glimmer sort of... This is not just an innocent party then.
No.
Okay.
But there is the matter of the runes that keep the city non-magical.
Yes.
Ornessa, how long can you keep up the king charade?
I mean, as long as no one asks me any specific questions. I mean, I could charm him and learn all these specific answers, but I don't know what people are going to do. Like, what if someone says, you know, introduces themselves to me and I'm supposed to know who that is?
That's fair.
I mean, I can charm them.
You can charm 3 people at a time, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So 2 people before I eat the king, and then, you know, that goes back up.
Maybe the queen and the king would be a good start, and then we can go from there.
Yeah, I mean, once they're charmed, we can get away with pretty much anything, right?
That's true.
I don't think anyone's gonna question them if they allow magic in.
I don't think so. And what if we leave the queen alive so she can take over once we leave?
Yeah?
Maybe leave her with not a parting gift, but parting realization. When the ball starts, we'll pull them aside and thank them for their time, work our magic, and go from there.
I'm ready. Are we... There's one thing I'm a little worried about though, Brae.
And that is?
Well, if things do go bad, they might have someone ready to turn off our magic. If anyone notices. I can sneak down there though. Do you want me to do that?
Do we take it before or after the party? What if it's rigged with any traps? That's the only problem I see.
Oh. Yeah, that's right. Well, they probably won't be magical traps.
That's true. They would just be... Why don't we go there now?
Okay.
Glimmer,
Yes?
as much as I would love for you to come with us, you don't really have a way of changing your appearance, going invisible,
No,
anything like that?
can fly a little bit, but I can't change my face, and I do tend to sparkle a little bit.
Yes. Can I bring my familiar here?
Yes.
Hello, my darling. Can you stay here in case anyone shows up? I can't remember how Find Familiar works because I don't use it often.
Yes.
Is there like a range in which we can communicate?
I believe so. While you're familiar within 100 feet of you, you have telepathic.
Okay. I'm gonna leave him here then.
Mm-hmm.
You can go invisible. Just keep an eye on the place. Maybe do a little exploring. See what you can find out about the castle and the king and queen. Maybe go find them and listen in on their conversation.
The imp sort of like cackles to itself, kind of rubs its hands together as it fades into invisibility.
Nice. And then...
Glimmer sort of, should I tell them that you're back at the ship if anyone comes looking?
Yes, we've gone to make our arrangements, get ready.
I see.
But we'll be back before the party. It's like early morning, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll see you later.
Yes, stay safe.
We will. And we'll exit, like, as is. We'll leave.
Yeah.
And, like, head out of town.
Sure.
Can we, like, duck down
out of the gates to try and sneak in.
Yeah, duck out of the gates and like into the. Is it all farmland or is there foresty?
There are trees along this kind of lower face.
Yeah.
There were a bunch of vines over the entrance here, so there are trees and like moss.
Basically,
around.
just want to like duck off to the side and on our way out, kind of before. Or I want the guards to see us going back to the ship. But like, is there a clear view all the way back to the ship?
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay, so we'll just go all the way back to the ship then.
Sure.
Once we get to the ship, I'm going to cast invisibility on myself.
Sure.
Or Nessa, if you would go ethereal and follow me.
With the pink mist.
And invisibility is concentration. Yeah, and we'll hastily, not the spell, just hastily, make our way to the entrance we know of to the underground.
And you are obviously trying to sneak up. I'll say make a stealth check with advantage.
Guidance. Oh no, I'm not guidancing, because that's concentration.
I did roll for Nessa, but I realized she's not even on the
That's a base of a 19.
Yep.
So 20.
Yep. As you make your way up, there is a knight, less proper looking than the rest, more kind of like scuffed armor, sitting kind of like popped a squat at the entrance here.
Yeah.
It's kind of like scanning for anyone who might try and get into this cave. Doesn't see you though. But you would have to like shove your way past him if you're gonna try and get in.
That's fine. Telepathically to Ornessa.
Yeah.
Want to work your magic, Ornessa?
Yeah, okay. I don't know where you are, so I'm just gonna appear like...
That's fine. Charm him and leave him.
Okay. There's a... behind a tree. As Ornessa kind of like steps out. Says, "Hey, Mr. Knight." Kind of doing like a little wave. He kind of like stands up and immediately fails with a 5. Kind of like stops. Shoulders kind of droop. Ornessa kind of like prances up to him. Gives him a non-magical little peck on the cheek. Says, "You just wait here." Kind of like looking around for you.
I'll like
Right.
back in.
Oh.
Yeah, you can stay like that, and I'll go up to the door and say the word in Aquan that opens it.
Yes.
Do
you recall the word?
It says, "I know the Aquan word to open the stone river to enter the chamber." You didn't give me the word.
Fair.
But you said that I can remember it.
Yeah. You speak the word to open it?
Yep.
As you make your way in, there's no signs of life down here as you recall. Same passages, same lift to lower. But there are torches set up at the center of this lake. And there are 3, maybe 4 guards, all kind of circling that area.
Where the rune is?
Yes.
Because the rune's, it's on a bridge in the middle of the lake?
The bridge goes out to a little island in the middle.
A little island in the middle, and the guards are on the island.
Yes.
Lovely.
Yeah.
I'll telepathic to Marissa.
Yep.
Seems the king didn't really trust us.
No.
Can I look? Does it look like they have any magic items on them?
From here, you're quite far away. I'll say make a perception check with disadvantage. And Ornessa will help you.
How far away are we?
From like where you're at, more than 200 feet.
Can we go to like the edge of the bridge type thing?
Sure, yeah. And then you're about like 120 feet out, maybe? Something like that.
Yeah. Still regular or disadvantage?
Ornessa will help you to counteract.
No.
No.
That's a 2, 8.
Yeah, you can't tell from here. They're silhouetted against the torchlight.
That's right. I'm going to, with my invisibility, will go away when I cast this. I wish Hex was more people as you upcast it, not just doing it. I'm gonna cast. You said there's 4?
Yes, there are 4 guards up here.
Cool. Cast command.
Yeah.
I want to go across the bridge and into the center.
They will kind of like stop and turn as you approach.
I'm invisible still.
Oh, you're invisible still. Okay. And I'll honor the 19 stealth.
Okay.
So that was, yeah.
Lovely, thank you. And I'm going to cast it at 4th level. And say... Whoops, I don't have that. Halt.
Halt.
So they all have to make...
Wisdom saves?
Wisdom.
As you into existence
yeah.
here. What's the DC?
18.
First 2 will definitely fail. 3 of them fail. One of them will pass.
That's fine.
What does halt do?
They essentially have no turn.
Okay, I will get you to roll initiative.
Okay. Yeah, the target doesn't move and takes no actions. A flying creature stays aloft, provided it is able to do so. It must move to stay aloft. If it must move to stay aloft, it flies the minimum distance needed to remain in the air.
Cool.
Ooh, that's a base of a 16.
Okay.
So 17?
17.
I don't like having a low initiative bonus.
I will say, the guards rolled a base 18.
Yeah, but they all do not take a turn except one.
Except 1.
Nice.
And Ornessa rolled a nat 1. We'd
Nice.
love to see it. So we do a slight transition, music-wise. As you poof into existence, you cast a spell, you feel it take hold over 3 of them.
Yeah.
They spend their turns doing nothing.
Mm-hmm.
One of them is going to turn, realize that it's you. The blade is drawn, and he's going to run up and attack you here. With a quick check here to see if he hits. I gotta pull up his stat block. Will definitely not hit. As the sword just kind of misses, you're able to kind of drift out of the side.
Yeah.
As the kind of it's not fearful just yet.
Yeah.
But he's waiting for his other guards to move in. And it doesn't seem like anyone's able to just yet.
Oh, what fun this will be. Is it my turn?
Yes.
Yes. I'm going to cast Spirit Guardians
Okay.
at 4th level.
Okay.
So, all of them, I believe.
Yeah, I think it activates right as you cast it. Right?
So I'll say, Ornessa, don't come in this range, because she's ethereal and I cannot see her.
Yes.
And I'm going to cast, it's a 15-foot radius.
Yep.
They are my little imps dancing around me.
Mm-hmm.
And they all need to make wisdom saves.
Sure. Okay, they will all fail.
Lovely. 15 points of necrotic damage to them.
Okay. They're all of them looking very bad right now. I can say for full disclosure, they aren't quite the guard's stat block, because that would have killed them all. But they are all definitely in single-digit health right now.
And then, why not bonus action?
Yep.
We're going to cast a spicy little guiding bolt.
You can't do 2-level spells.
Or sorry, not guiding bolts. Eldritch Blast.
Yes, 1 to each of them.
I'm going to start with the guard that had a turn.
Sure.
And 24.
24 hits.
And that's a d10 plus 6. Right?
Yeah.
Plus, is that it? No. A d10 plus 6.
Yeah.
10 points of force damage.
Yeah, you... How do you want to end it?
I'll come in my imp, so it's going to be flitting around me.
Yeah.
Oh, what fun. I thought this would be a challenge, and I'll just...
Flies backwards.
1 to the guard, kind of just... I'll go clockwise.
Sure.
22.
22, yep. I'll say right now, your minimum is 7.
Yep.
They have 7 HP.
Cool. That's a 8.
Yeah, that'll do it.
And then, I guess, behind me now.
Sure.
30.
Yep.
8.
Yeah.
And I'll turn and face the last remaining guard.
One left. This is one of the ones who had been halted.
Who had been halted.
Yeah.
And I'll just hold out my arms.
Sure. Holding that last attack,
Yeah.
basically. Or not using it.
Ornessa, you can stay where you are.
Yeah. Ornessa spends her turn not doing anything.
Mm-hmm.
The guard here, he's got his hands on his sword.
He needs to make a wisdom save.
Oh. Yeah. Oh.
I can tell you now half damage is... 16 is full damage.
Oh, so that's 8 damage if he
Yeah.
passes. He rolled a 15 on his wisdom save, so that's full damage. As the imps just chew him up, and he is consumed in this torrent.
Mm-hmm.
As Onessa sort of, wow, that was easy, but how are we going to clean this up?
We'll put him in the vampire's cave.
Okay, as long as no one checks on them for the night.
We'll make sure the guard takes care of that.
Okay.
I'll drop.
Oh yeah, you're gonna drop.
Drop Spirit Guardians.
Can I materialize now?
Yes.
Okay. She touches down.
Can I look for any traps around the... Like, if there's a mechanism that, like, holds it in place or whatever?
Yeah, make an investigation check.
I'm gonna guidance myself.
Yep.
Vanessa, do you want to look as well?
Okay. She'll help you.
Yeah. 14, 16... 21 on investigation.
21. You're looking over this thing. There are traps that you find behind the rock that this is on.
Yeah.
Most of them bear traps. There are snares that people have made. But they've all been moved aside as the guards have taken up spots here. Like, they've made sure to not have them nearby. And you didn't trigger anything when you came down here to look at this.
Yeah.
So it seems like they've kind of been like... They're going to be working with it, so they move all the traps away.
And I'll take it.
The rune here?
Yeah.
Okay. It's hefty, but yeah, you're holding it.
That's it?
Yeah.
What does it look like?
It's this like kind of blue crystal, faintly pulsing with light. Clearly in an inactive state.
I'm going to try. I'm gonna put it back on its pedestal.
Yep. Kind of. It's like if you've ever seen those like
Atlantis.
Well, it's like they're like Lego sculptures where it's like the tensile or the chains that make the weird illusion thing.
Oh, okay.
When you set it up, it almost catches itself in balance.
Oh, nice.
And it like rights itself.
I'm gonna try hitting it with Sacred Flame. Or not Sacred Flame, Scorching Ray, because that can target objects. 14 is the lowest of those.
14 is lowest?
14, 22, and 27. 2
of those will hit. Please roll damage.
Okay. 2, 4, 1, 2, 8. 19 points of fire damage to this rune. Okay. Does it look like it did anything?
Yes.
Yes.
You strike this, and these 2 scorch marks are blasted into it, and it's like smoke has made its way into the actual crystal, and it hears a little crack.
I do it again.
Yeah.
15 is the lowest, and then the other 2 are above 20.
15 misses, but the 20 hit.
Oh, hello. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 16 points of fire damage.
Yep. 16 and 19, math. 38? No, 35. 35. I'm silly.
Zach, where are you? We need you.
Again, 2 hits, and it starts to crack. At this point, it started to vibrate a little bit.
Maybe let's move a little bit back. I'm going to go back 120 feet.
Sure. Right to across like midway on the bridge?
Yeah. And I'm going to do it again. 23 is the lowest.
Yeah.
10. 19. 30 points.
Sure. I'll tell you right now, it had 10 health.
Nice.
As you strike it, the first one hits, the other 2 kind of like are consumed in this blast of blue light.
Yeah.
As this whole thing sort of like almost unscrews itself, like it twists and bursts out. There's this like, there is a sound. It almost sounds like the key of an instrument being struck. Are you proficient with any musical instruments?
I think I might be. Give me 1 second.
Sure. While you're checking that though, this
no.
burst just boom, like streaks out, igniting like the whole cavern and up. As this like massive burst happens, the ground quakes.
Yeah, I thought that would happen.
And you can hear distinctly the sound of a chain rattling. Not like a high-pitched kind of, but like a deep rumbling sound.
Ooh, what did I unleash?
For a moment, your thoughts go back to the Amber Temple.
Yeah.
Located just north of here. And you were reminded of the sounds you heard there. the sights you saw.
Yep.
And all at once, a stillness returns to this cavern. Ornessa sort of like coming up behind you a little bit. Like taking your arm, like, Brae?
What do you think that was?
I don't know. I hope it was something evil.
Maybe let's head on out.
Okay, I think they probably might have heard that.
Yeah, I think so too.
Okay, are we still gonna do the party?
I don't think that's gonna happen if they realize what happened.
Oh. Her mind is like, you can see it's racing, like trying to find some way to cover this up now, because he's like, well, now it's personal.
Yeah. Oh, 1 second. What spells do I have? Yeah. We'll go back out to the Charmed Guard.
Yeah. He's just sitting there.
I can talk to him like Ornessa can, right? My dear, no one came in here. No one's been here this whole time.
Kind of like looks up at you and just kind of nods.
And you didn't see anything. It's been uneventful since your watch started.
You're right. I've seen nothing.
And no one.
And no one.
Thank you. And I'll cast invisibility on myself.
And Ornessa will ethereal.
And we'll head back to my ship.
Sure. As you're heading back, a whole troop of guards, like mobilized, is running into the cave.
Yeah.
And up to the guard. You don't really hear the exchange, but it's like frantic.
Yeah.
And they start like running in.
Mm-hmm.
You return to your ship?
Yeah.
There are this sort of handful of guards here just kind of like lounging.
Mm-hmm.
They don't seem to have reacted to what happened.
Yeah.
One of them's kind of like looking up at the sky kind of curiously.
And I'll go down to find Miria, and I'll drop invisibility.
Oh!
Hi!
Hi!
Did you see anything here?
See anything?
Or hear anything?
I don't think so.
Wonderful. How far is it from here to the town?
It's a good couple minutes of walking.
Like how many? Like a mile? Not a mile.
Not quite a mile. Half a mile,
how many
maybe?
feet are in a mile?
Is it 1,250?
I have no idea.
If I got that right, metric system. Oh wow, never mind. 5,280.
Yep, that's not gonna work.
So it's not a mile though. It's probably maybe half or so.
Yeah. Did you hear anything?
I didn't hear anything.
Wonderful. We should go get Glimmer.
She's back at the...
Yes.
Okay, you want me to go with you?
No, that's all right. I'm gonna change quickly into my fine red dress.
Yes.
And bring Ornessa with me.
Sure.
In a fine dress as well.
She'll get on her blue...
Yeah. And we'll start nonchalantly walking to the palace.
You surprise Igmarel, who was waiting on the top deck.
Well, she would have seen us come back.
You were invisible.
No, we walked back, normal.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Invisible on the ship and left. So the guards saw us come and never saw us leave.
Right.
Yeah.
Igmarel will then sort of... Brae, is everything alright?
I don't think magic will ever disappear here again.
Kind of smiles. Are we taking it then?
Let's see what's happening there. You stay here with the ship in case you need to protect it.
Yes.
I don't think much can harm me here.
Kind of like... Igmarel will turn to the guards who are just kind of like lounging there. She kind of smiles.
If you must. Only if they instigate first. Use your discretion.
She kind of like leans in a little bit. And as Igmarel's not one to presume or to kind of push her own agenda that much.
Yeah.
Sort of, one could say they instigated by daring to come so close to our ship in the first place.
If you see a messenger or troops coming this way, either frantically or... frantically, I'd say.
Yes.
And if they make a move on this ship, you do what must be done.
I will, without hesitation.
I would expect nothing less.
Telepathically, you just hear Ornessa. Brae? Iggy's a bit of a freak. Like, I don't know.
I think she'll do fine. And I'll head off. Give the guards a little, twiddle of my fingers as we are dressed very finely.
Onessa's just kind of like going off now. Like, I know, Brae. Like, I have things that I enjoy. And she's got things that she enjoys. But like...
Those things are very different.
I don't want to say she has issues, but usually my methods are pretty universal. I don't know about that one.
Yes. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, I think she needs a good round of carousing to really...
Loosen her up?
Yeah.
We'll see about that later on.
Okay. And you make your way up?
Yeah.
Guards are frantically running back and forth here as you approach the main gates.
Put on my, like, concerned, like...
Yeah.
Catch one of them. What's going on?
Please, if you would just return to the castle.
Oh, okay.
And he kind of, like, starts to run back.
And I'll make my way in and straight to my room where Glimmer would be.
Yeah. You get up there,
And I'll call telepathically, I'll just send out for my imp. It's within 100 feet.
Yes.
So, if he's around.
Yes.
She's around. It's around. I don't know what gender it is. Haven't decided yet.
Up to you, really.
Yeah. We'll do she, just for continuity.
Sure. The little imp will, after about a minute or so, materialize on your shoulder. As you make your way in, Glimmer sort of, oh, Brae, you're back.
Yes.
There was an earthquake a moment ago.
Ah.
Like a shake.
Yeah, I don't think magic will be returning here. We may have ruined the ball, but we'll see.
Oh.
First things first was get rid of that. Didn't know it would... I should have figured it would go boom, but we'll see what happens.
Yes. After a moment, there is a pum 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 on the door.
I'll open it.
It is Sir Legan.
Sir Legan.
Yes, attention here. Brae.
Yes.
There is a situation developing here.
Oh?
It seems there has been some sort of incident in the caves where the vampires were.
Did they come back? Did we not get them all?
The situation is continuing to develop as new information is unraveling. We would like to request that you stay here until further notice.
Are they okay on the ship?
Your ship?
Well, we were there, and then we just came here, and everyone was frantic.
I believe your ship is fine.
Oh, okay.
But
there was an earthquake. Glimmer just said.
Yes, there was a quake. I don't believe I'm allowed to say more than that.
All right. Do you need more assistance?
That might be valued. I will speak to Nihilus. He could find value in your company down below.
Should we go talk to the king and queen?
Another audience.
Well, if something's happening.
Make a persuasion check.
Gold dice. That's a 13 plus 10.
Okay.
So 23. Persuasion. Yeah, it's 23.
Absolutely. Please, if you'll follow me.
Of course. I'll like pick up my dress and clop, clop, clop in my... Not clop, clop,
No,
clop. That's
clop,
melody.
yeah.
Click, click, click in my heels.
As they lead you up, the queen is not present here, but the king is pacing. They've set up like a table in the center of this throne room with the librarian here, Lemony, and Nihilus.
What's happened? Glimmer said there was an earthquake and now the guards are going frantic.
Nihilus turns to you. Be honest now. Did you have something to do with this? And I will tell you right now, whatever you say, he's inciting.
How could I cause an earthquake? Is this... 23.
23, okay. I'm not sure. But there has been a disruption in the caves below. The rune we use to keep this place free of magic has been damaged.
How can you damage magical artifacts?
I imagine the same way you could damage a magical creature. With magic.
That's fair.
I'm told it is still fully functional. so there's no concern regarding our safety going forward. But we thought it would be best to inform you, Legan. Legan sort of... Yes, I told them that perhaps an audience with the king, if there's anything they can do to help us.
Yes, if there's someone here wielding magic like that, I feel we could be of service.
Would you be able to root them out?
If they're still in town, I don't know what their objective would have been. How would they even have gotten in there? Well, the vampires did, so evidently there's ways.
Yes, clearly. I suspect if there is someone trying to weaken the hold of this rune on our kingdom, they may have desire for conquest. But...
Could such a thing be done solely with the rune?
If they remove our ability to limit magic in this place, any conquering army could make its way in, aided by magic, and lay waste to this place.
Do you need to turn it back on? Will it work right away?
They all kind of like share a look, and it's clear that they're hiding something. They're obviously not giving you all the information.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, we can turn it back on and limit the magic, but...
Can I insight that? A gold one, you've been lucky. Ooh, I think that's just a flat 11.
You cannot read it.
Yeah, fair.
As it kind of continues, it's no issue for us to maintain our hold for the time being, but damage has been done. And we need to find out the cause. Your presence here continues to concern me.
I understandably so, but we were on our ship the whole time. We didn't even feel anything out there.
Yes, but nevertheless, something was damaged.
Mm-hmm.
That would be the tremor that was felt above.
Mm.
I doubt it reaches that far, but we know for a fact that an attack has happened.
So no ball, I assume, then.
Kind of like frowns. Unless there's a way we could use it to root out the perpetrator in all this.
Maybe they're going after, if you have a vault or somewhere you keep Wellington's riches, maybe they would go after it if there was a big enough spectacle distracting people.
Maybe. Kind of like gestures. But again, if you would step out. And you as well, Lemony. And they both kind of step out, leaving the three of you with the king and his captain of guard.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like places both hands on the table.
Can I telepathically say to my imp,
Yeah.
Transform into a raven, fly, can the imp fly on its... He can fly on its own.
Mm-hmm.
Exit this castle invisibly.
Mm-hmm.
Transform into a raven. And fly as fast as you can to Igmaril and tell her not to make a move unless you hear from me, and then come back unseen.
There are no windows in this place.
Mm-hmm.
So there are windows, but they are sealed.
So leave the door with the guards as they exit. Get them to it.
Just that warp of space as it moves out.
And I say, come back once you've warned her.
The imp can speak Infernal, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Infernal and Common.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, you send that out, leaving just Nihilus and Galeron in the room with you.
Nice.
So Galeron kind of leans in. I hate to have to do this.
Yes.
But you might be our best hope once again.
Oh, wonderful.
No, not wonderful.
Well,
We hate to rely on you like this.
I can be quite helpful in times of need. If someone were to come, I feel I would be able to help, especially with no magic on your part. If it is a magical being, you will need someone get rid of them.
What resources would you need?
Resources.
Telepathically. Lots of knights. Gallant knights.
Handsome knights.
Handsome knights.
If I may, I have something that I think might help. I understand if I'm overstepping, but it is magic. If you would choose, would keep you protected.
What magic?
It's a spell. It boosts up your protection against magical effects and whatnot.
He will insight you.
Yeah. I'm gonna go this one again. Ooh, 19.
They both insight you.
Mm-hmm.
Was that a deception check?
Yeah.
Okay. Neither of them can read you.
No.
Sort of.
Call it a blessing, if you will.
Kind of like looks at Nihilus.
I understand if you don't want it.
Give this blessing. I will call one of my guards. You will give the blessing to them. And they will tell me if it is useful or not.
It is but one of you.
But one of us?
Yes. It can only go to one person.
There's some distrust in his face as he kind of takes that in. So you're saying there's no way for us to test this? For me to see this effect on one of my own?
Well, I can give it to one person, but then that person would be the one with it for the duration.
Your methods concern me.
As I said, if you don't want it, I can bestow it upon your captain.
Nihilus sort of, my king, I will stand before you, no matter what comes forth in the coming days. I will take this blessing, if you permit. Galeron sort of looks at him. Very well. Give Nihilus this blessing of yours.
Telepathically to Ornessa, I'm gonna say, as soon as I cast this, you charm the king. I will get the captain, and if I fail with the captain, you try next.
There's a little shift as Ornessa's skin goes like a little rosy, almost turning pink, but not quite. She's keeping it down.
Yeah. And I'm going to quicken.
Yeah.
Bane.
Okay. Charisma saves from both of them?
Yeah, we'll just do both.
Sure. Quickening Bane. Ooh. Well, Galeron, the Great King, will fail. And his captain of the guard has some chunky stats. Will pass with a 19.
Cool.
Yeah.
And then immediately,
Yeah.
I'm going to use Fiendish Charm on the captain of a guard.
Sure.
And he needs to make a wisdom saving throw.
That is a 17.
Total?
Yes.
Okay, so he passes.
Okay.
In
In the meantime, Ornessa's going to charm the king.
And he subtracts a d4.
Oh.
Because he's baned.
The king.
The king is baned. That was the first spell, was bane.
Yeah. The king rolls a base 13 minus 3. A base 10 will not succeed, as Ornessa now has the king charmed. The guard here isn't. Or sorry, Nihilus, the captain of the guard, isn't.
Can I speak telepathically to anyone she's charmed?
Yes.
Tell him to halt.
The king just kind of puts up his hand, halt. And Nihilus sort of, my king, I wasn't going to do anything.
He didn't raise any hands or anything?
No.
Okay.
As Galeron sort of turns to you, kind of like hand on his beard here. Brae.
Yes.
I don't see any effect on my captain here. Did it work?
I think he resisted it. He was not willing to take the blessing.
Nihilus, is this true? Nihilus sort of, I was willing for it.
Well, then why did it not take effect?
Was it not you who cast it?
Yes. You should have felt it by now.
Then, if there was a failure, it must have been in the magic, no? The
It could be that you're just...
The king's like looking at Nihilus, kind of like giving him a hard look.
Mm-hmm. Well, if it failed, I could help you, my lord. As I can only have one person at a time.
In the meantime, Ornessa's going to charm.
Nice.
Nihilus. Who rolled a 6, plus 5. Won't do it.
Nice.
As Ornessa sort of just lets sort of yawn in a stretch, and you see her horns curl back.
Yeah.
And her tail kind of like snakes out. Brae.
Are we good?
Kind of like puts a hand on each of their cheeks.
Wonderful. My friends. I think a ball would be a magnificent idea tonight. And I don't think we need to pay for it. You're just so thankful for our help and this ruse that we're going to catch whoever blew up that rune.
The king sort of like, eyes kind of glazed. I will retrieve the jewelry that you gave me.
Can bring it to the ball.
Yes. Of course.
In the meantime, Nihilus, why don't you set about putting up a trap around the vault? Not a trap, but guards around the vault. A facade to lure out whoever blew up this rune.
Kind of just nods. That is very wise.
Station your guards around the vault and vault alone.
How many should I station there?
How many do you have?
We can spare as many as necessary. We can bring peasants down there if it's urgent enough.
Maybe 10 guards.
10 guards. He's walking back like the 100 that he was prepping.
Oh, okay. 10 guards at the vault.
Yes.
One quick scout, if you have anyone that's particularly fast, could get a message to us should someone try and break in.
Yes. Of course.
And where's the queen? I'll like kind of say to both of them.
The king sort of like steps forward,
Mm-hmm.
and his body posture has changed almost to like standing at attention before you.
Mm-hmm.
She's in her chambers downstairs. Shall I find her for you?
Tell me about your queen. What's she like? What are her mannerisms? Do the people like her?
Yes, Norraine is much beloved.
Mm-hmm.
She is quiet. She rarely speaks her mind when it comes to political matters.
Mm-hmm.
But she is loyal and steadfast. I believe she is loved by the people and our lesser nobility alike.
Oh, how wonderful.
Is there anything else you'd like to know? Her passions, or?
Yeah, sure. Tell me all about her.
He kind of like launches into like a very readily prepared speech almost on like she likes reading, she spends a lot of time in the library.
Mm-hmm.
She's a little bit clumsy when it comes to hand-to-hand fighting.
Mm-hmm.
All nobility is trained here in some level of that.
Yeah.
Fighting with silvered weapons is the big one. And she's never really been the most capable in that regard.
Mm-hmm.
But she is quite knowledgeable on her histories.
Why do I feel like she's hiding magic?
It's possible. But
Well.
he spares no hint of that directly.
Well, if you would, I would love to get to know her a little bit while you prepare for the ball.
Yes. Shall I introduce you?
Please.
Please, if you'll follow me.
Her and I will have tea.
Of course, yes.
And Onessa.
Glimmer sort of like ends.
And Glimmer, of course, Glimmer. Okay. Sorry, my
She kind of
apologies.
like hurries to join you.
Mm-hmm.
The king will lead you down these steps behind the throne room here.
Mm-hmm.
Down into these like service corridors.
Yeah.
Which widen and become a little bit more elaborate. So he leads you to his chambers.
Mm-hmm.
Opening the doors here, it's lavishly furnished. This very large bed, several dressers, a very large mirror here, all very well furnished. There are fresh pastries at the foot of the bed, and there is a maid sort of like folding some clothes here, and kind of just like placing them delicately on a table. She bows as you come in, gives Ornessa a very curious look, because Ornessa's just full feet here. Yeah.
Ah, yeah, fair.
Ornessa just gives her a wink, and she kind of like hurries out. Ornessa's sort of like, should I deal with her?
Yeah, if you want.
Okay. She kind of like slides away.
And then maybe, and I'll like gesture to this.
Sort of gives you a look. Fine.
We'll do our grand reveal at the ball.
Fine. She kind of drifts out. As sort of leaning over from behind, like a little lower down steps, there's like a little curtain here. The queen sort of turns. My dear, who do you have with you?
Oh, this is Glimmer.
I was speaking to my husband.
This is your husband? Oh, sorry.
To which Galeron sort of, please, these are guests of honor. They're going to help us. This is Brae and Glimmer. There was a third, but she's gone.
She'll be back. She just needs to use the lavatory.
He kind of takes you by the hand and leads you down the steps. And kind of like pulls up a chair for you and sits down.
Yeah.
So the four of you are at this table here. There is a little bit of a scuffle outside. As you can hear someone enter the room. And then like a little... As a moment passes, the queen's sort of like, what is that? As Ornessa kind of like peeks in, blonde hair.
Oh, that's Ornessa. She's back.
Yes. Oh, there's no seats for me. Kind of like looks at like the king's seat. Like debates very overtly.
In my head, I say, no.
Okay, I will just sit on a cushion over here. She kind of goes and sits. The queen sort of, this is all very irregular. What are you doing here?
I thought we could have tea while we wait preparations. Loop you in on what the king and us have been discussing about this evening's affairs and what's just happened.
Is he... She kind of like looks to the king. Are you getting their help? The king just nods earnestly, like, yes, Brae has agreed to help us fully with all of our issues.
We believe some magic user snuck into the cavern. Maybe the way the vampires got in. Maybe it was another one of them or someone controlling them. If it's a magic user, which I assume it would have had to be, they must have... We intend to smoke them out tonight with the ball.
Queen is eyeing you kind of suspiciously, but ultimately she doesn't say anything. And Galeron, you've agreed to this. Galeron just like nods in earnest. Yes. Brae and her companions, I'm sure, will be very capable of putting on a convincing festival. And if there is anyone, I'm sure there's someone with intentions. And if they're political intentions, I don't see them passing up a chance to attend something like this. I think it's an excellent idea. He kind of like turns to you and like there's a like nod for like encouragement almost. Shall I leave while you have tea?
Is that the king?
Yes.
Yes, you should go finish planning the festivities for tonight.
Right, and he stands and like hurriedly goes off. As he's like passing through the curtains, you get telepathically from Ornessa, okay, good, he's charmed. There's a maid tied up under his bed.
Oh, I guess you have two people charmed.
Well, I could have charmed her, and I'm never going to say no to like a quick meal, but I didn't know if when you said take care of, you know.
Oh,
I mean, I'll go eat if you want.
If you want, go for it.
You don't want me to stay here?
Yeah, maybe stay here for now.
She sits in the king's chair. And kind of like leans on her elbows at the queen. Sort of, so, how's it going? And the queen sort of like a strange look. We don't have tea here.
You don't have tea?
I can send a servant for some.
Oh, you mean in your room?
Correct.
Wine?
Kind of stands and go and grab from a little cabinet. There are like the fine bottles of wine. She pulls one from like the lower rack, brings it over. We'll pull out some glasses and sort of pour a little bit in each.
I'll take one.
Yeah. Vanessa takes one in both hands.
I wait for her to sip first.
She sips.
I'll sip. So, Your Majesty.
Yes.
Again, we thank you for welcoming us. Not openly at first, but we hope we can be of aid in this circumstance.
Do you?
I do.
I find it more than a little odd that you would arrive here, and in such a short time there would be so many incidents.
It is funny how things came to pass, but I assure you we'll get to the bottom of all of this.
Fate has positioned you as quite a convenient savior.
That it has.
In my experience, saviors usually have something to gain.
As I said, I think I would be a good ally. We just want to get out of here as quickly as we came. As I said when we first arrived, I didn't intend to intrude, but seeing as we're stuck for a while, thought we could make peace.
I would like nothing more than to have peace with you. You came here to drink and not in the presence of the rest of our court. Am I to assume that you have some other motive you'd like to air here? Something you couldn't say earlier?
You seem very reserved in the court. I wanted to give you the opportunity to speak freely without the presence of your husband or the guards, or see how you feel of all this.
All of this?
Since we've arrived, how are you doing? The women in court usually get pushed down, belittled.
I hear that's not true in the Silk Fleet.
Not in the Silk Fleet, but in other kingdoms I've been to. We take care of our own in the fleet and on my ship. I'm not asking you to join, I'm just merely checking in, woman to woman.
Something in her eyes changes at that. I have a strange sense of appreciation for that. You are an odd person from an odd land, with customs that I wish would benefit me as they do you.
Do you?
She gets very hesitant. I have no particular love for our customs, but I do understand them and why they are essential.
And why is that? I feel I can speak more bluntly with you than His Majesty.
Do you? I would advise caution then. If you speak too bluntly, my pride might be hurt.
That's not my intention.
However, it is no secret that magic has served the kingdoms outside of this one very well. Even more so in recent years.
Indeed it has.
However, if we were, all at once, to embrace the magic of the outside world, too much progress has been made. We would be swept up. To welcome in those with magic would overwhelm us. There's too much power posed by the likes of you, meaning no offense.
None taken.
The potential for others to cause harm is too great the risk.
What if its rulers had power?
Its rulers. My king and I.
You.
Kind of cocks her head to the side.
It's no surprise times are changing. If someone got into the cavern that easily, seemingly your best kept secret in Wellington, and now in the span of a couple days, how long were those vampires in there, and now whatever this may be getting in, it seems your small town may not be as...
Are you offering me magic?
That's up for you to decide.
Kind of taps her fingers, not on the table, but on this book that she's been reading. It doesn't have a notable cover or anything. My husband would throw you out if you made such a suggestion. Kind of leans in, and just under her breath you hear, "What kind?"
It's a good question. Well, it would be through me. I have some experience with, call it a pact. I made one with a powerful creature not too long ago and benefited me greatly. I could offer you the same.
How much has my husband told you of the state of our ruin?
He said it still functions, but I have my doubts. If the earthquake the tremor is as Glimmer said.
Glimmer sort of nodding. It was a rather violent tremor. And with that answer, the Queen immediately gets a little bit more cautious again, because she's seen that there's been some other information withheld.
Mm-hmm.
I see. Yes. Well.
Think about it. Got a few days before we leave.
Would this pact have terms?
Minor ones, none that would affect your day-to-day.
Softly in the back of your head, major ones, Brae, major ones, Brae. Parties every night.
It would have some terms, nothing too crazy, just following some customs of ours, mine, my party. And should we ever need anything, you would be obliged to follow through. But in that, the chance of that is slim.
Again, just kind of leaned in a little bit. And how long would this pact last? Until our eyes shift. Until our rune is fixed.
Until we both will it freed. When your rune gets fixed, we could negotiate the terms of release.
Release. So you would have a hold over me.
As I said, it would be minor with following through on some customs. Nothing more. Adding some festivals and revelry back into town.
She kind of frowns and is clearly thinking it over. I will need time to decide on this.
As I said, you have time. I hope you'll keep it between the two of us. I guess the four of us.
She places her hand on the table in front of yours.
I'll place my hand on hers.
Yeah. She kind of flinches back a little bit.
Give it a little squeeze.
Flips her hand over, does the squeeze back.
Yeah.
I think it is very important that you tell no one of this.
If I may leave you with this.
Yes.
Men have been in power far too long, and far too many suffer because of it. You may have peace in your little kingdom for now, but with the events that have unfolded, you never know how long it may last.
With not a shred of irony or jest, she leans...
That last part was fully sincere.
Yeah. She kind of leans back a little bit, still holding onto your hand.
Mm-hmm.
Brae, are you a devil?
Far from it, my friend. And I'll just give her hand a little kiss.
Yeah. Eyes go wide,
Mm-hmm.
as she kind of sits back a little bit. There is a little squeal from Ornessa in your head. We're going to rule this place.
I think we will. The king might have to have a little accident tonight.
Does it have to be a little one?
We'll see.
Another little squeal as Ornessa stands, kind of like brushing herself off. The queen sort of, was there anything else? You're going to investigate this tonight, I understand?
We'll see what happens at the ball. Anyone with any ambition, either politically, monetarily, this would be the prime opportunity for them to take advantage.
As you say. Well then, if there is anything in my power to grant you to help you with this, please just ask.
I'll think on it.
She kind of just nods. Ornessa, pinging you again, are we supposed to get the jewelry back, or is that on hold right now?
Well, the king's gonna give it back to us at the ball.
Right, okay.
Think about it, Noreen.
Make me just a general persuasion check.
Alright, baby! 19.
19.
Yeah.
I will.
I'll see you at the ball. Wear your finest. I'm in mine. Well, not quite. I don't think your people could handle my finest. I'm in like the fine red dress, not the luminous dress.
Is your finest magical?
No, it's just very opulent.
I see. Ornessa just sort of, I'm in my finest.
Is she in her pageant dress?
Yeah. Honestly, Glimmer as well, because that's her only dress.
We should get her some other clothes.
Probably. She has to keep, like, really cleaning it, because it's...
I'll just keep prestidigitationing
Yeah.
it clean.
Anytime there's, like, a slight puddle
Mending,
or
prestidigitation.
Yeah.
Keep her looking her best.
Yes. She doesn't have any of her jewelry on, though.
Fair.
As Noreen sort of stands, takes the wine bottle, like, moves it aside, pulls like a top shelf one.
I was gonna make a comment as I left, but we're good.
Kind of brings it down and like thrusts it forward, a token.
Oh. Can I read? What does the label say?
There's no.
It's
like the label has long since.
Ooh, so it's
smudged
old.
off. This is something very old.
Oh, can I just put? I have where is it?
Oh, you've got Barovian wines too.
I've got fine bottle of wine here from Barovia.
Yes.
Can I just put 2? Or is it not on the same level?
I would say it's its own thing.
Okay.
It is fine wine from Wellington.
Okay.
With that, Glimmer and Ornessa will start to take their leave.
I'll pass it off to Ornessa. Nah, Glimmer.
Okay, Glimmer takes it less like greedily.
Yeah.
She kind of just like cradles it a little bit, looking at it and then holding on to it.
Mm-hmm.
As Ornessa sort of, Brae,
Yes.
we left on much better terms than I was thinking, and there's still a maid tied up under the bed.
Yeah. Why don't you go... We don't need that guard charmed at the entrance anymore. Or will he know that we came? No, he'll know we came and went, won't he?
Yeah, he'll remember seeing you.
No, he'll remember seeing you.
Oh, yeah, 'cause you're invisible.
Who were you?
I was me.
Like, pink you?
Yeah.
Okay, maybe... Keep it.
Well, if he lets someone in, I'm just saying, maybe he's the liar, or he can go die and I can charm the maid.
Why don't I try and charm the maid?
Okay. She kind of like heads over and you hear like something being dragged. As the queen is going to go back to her book here.
Mm-hmm.
Sort of alert me if anything comes up.
Of course. Your facilities are just...
Yes.
I'm going to go towards where the bedroom is.
Yeah, you head through the bedroom.
Yeah.
Ornessa's kind of like heaving here as it's a bit of a sight to behold. Tied up in like ropes that were like pulled from the bed, like some of the finery.
Yeah.
With like a whole bunch of cloth stuffed down in her mouth. This maid sort of like, oh.
Oh my darling, everything will be all right. Yeah.
That's a 3.
Fail.
Yeah.
Nice.
As Ornessa kind of like yanks out the cloth and quickly just kind of unties her. Kind of helps her up.
You were just refreshing the linens. Maybe put this all back together and go about your duties. Nothing happened.
Of course, yes.
Wonderful.
She quickly starts going over and doing that.
And I'll wait a few more minutes or not like a little bit longer, and then I'll head back with Ornessa.
Yeah. You've got Ornessa and Glimmer here.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
We'll head to the entrance to see if the guard is still there, or how many guards they have posted.
Down and around. There's a steady stream going in and out.
Of the castle?
Oh,
the cavern entrance.
Yeah, the cavern entrance.
Okay,
Yeah,
steady stream of people going in and out.
Yeah, like people running back and forth.
Yeah, is
the guard, he's still there, arms folded. There's another guard posted opposite him.
Uh-huh. I'm glad to see they've taken warning here. Any suspicious activity thus far?
Asking...
The guards.
Yeah. The charmed one and the other one.
Yeah.
The charmed one kind of turns. No, there's been nothing. I've seen nothing through here.
Wonderful.
The other guard sort of me neither.
Lovely. How long are you both stationed here for? The rest of the evening?
Until further notice. It's still before noon, but we are to remain here until King Galeron relieves us.
Excellent. And I'll go and I'm going to find another guard off a little ways.
Yeah.
You?
Yes.
Go about your business. I'm going to go back to the guards.
Yeah, you go back up.
Neither of you were here when the tremor happened, were you?
The charmed one sort of like raises a hand. I was.
And you didn't see anything?
Nothing through here.
Well, evidently you're not doing a very good job.
Kind of like hangs his head a little bit. I apologize.
I think we should find someone to relieve this one. I'll say to the other.
The other guard sort of...
If they have magic, they have ways of manipulating people. I need to question him with magical means.
This one?
This one, the charmed one.
Of course, you have authority here. King Galeron sent word that you would be investigating.
Wonderful. Are there any guards floating around?
Yeah, a couple here.
You, and I'll point to the...
Yeah.
Take his post. We're gonna go see if anything's been done to him magically.
He kind of like takes the guard's place and the other guard kind of like heads down. Where will you question me?
Can I like look around?
It's kind of lightly wooded here. The farm fields stretch out further ahead, but there's lots of wooded area you could break line of sight.
On my ship. That would be a good place. I've got more means there.
Yes.
And we'll head to the ship.
Yeah. The guards are all here. 2 more guards have been stationed.
So it's 8?
Yes. But there was not an attack from Igmarel because the Raven did reach her.
Good. Raven flies 120 feet a turn, so...
Igmarel sort of just like standing there, arms folded as you come aboard.
I'll go up and I'll kind of cast message. Come below decks and head down with the guard.
Yeah. She'll walk down as well.
The one that's charmed is Ornessa's.
Yes.
The one that she wants to keep, right?
No.
No.
Ornessa's guard is somewhere else.
Oh, okay. Okay. I thought this was...
No.
Okay. So, I'll look to Ornessa.
Yeah?
What do you want with him?
Kind of like looks him up and down. I don't need him for anything.
Wonderful. We could use that slot, that charm that you're using on him.
Immediately there's a tail around his neck and like claws on like the sides of the face. And then it's just sort of like, yeah?
Be my guest?
She's gonna kind of like pull his head back and plant a kiss. He will fail to save. Yeah, he is very dead.
Lovely.
As the body just shrivels. So Nessa sort of just like lets him drop. Tail uncoils. Mm-hmm. Oh, the first of many, I hope.
We should hide that.
Igmarel sort of on the ship.
No, off the ship. But give me a moment. Before we do that.
Yes.
And I'll let Igmarel know everything that happened when we were in Wellington. Yeah. The king is charmed. The captain of the guard is charmed. I don't know what it means to me have a pact with someone, but like I offered it to the queen and like...
Glimmer's just off to the side, like wringing her hands, like very keenly listening to anything you say about
Yeah,
that.
she is.
Yeah.
We can cross that bridge if and when we come to it, but I haven't decided exactly what we're going to do with the king tonight. I think, well, something needs to enter the castle. We need to alert the king and have him fall with the guards.
Fall with them.
Maybe in the vault. Get him in there. I can take down the guards as long as no one sees me.
And then we dispatch him in the vault.
Yes.
I see.
If he falls there and we...
And you plan to make a pact with this queen? An honest one?
Who knows? I don't really know how it works yet. We'll have to find out.
She kind of like shares a look with Onessa. As one of infernal origin, I and Ornessa know much of pacts.
I did make a pact with my mother and then with my aunt. And, well, that was a mere handshake, I guess, with both of them.
Yes. Your family was generous with you. You don't have to share that. If the queen agrees, I'm sure you could ask for a great deal of things. After all, you have the power to grant her wishes. We just need to make sure it's the right ones.
Yes.
Idmar starts pacing, and it's like she's mumbling to herself. Some in infernal, some not. Her immediate thought is Aku and sitting Brae on the throne. So that she's like mumbling legitimacy, some sort of like marriage pact or something.
I don't want to stay here.
She's kind of like mumbling. Oh, of course.
Yes. But if I have sway over whoever's ruling, so be it.
We could come and go as we please.
We could.
And would have protection while here.
Ornessa, do you have sisters that you know of?
Not that I know of. Well, I know I have lots of sisters. And, well, I was hoping to look in the library to summon some of them. Or, and she kind of like blushes a little bit, make some more.
I think some sisters would be more than welcome here to keep control of the city with its new queen, or high queen we should call her.
Oh, yes.
Would you like to go research?
I would love to. I was already in there looking at, well, if I could create some more. And the books there weren't the most telling. They don't seem to like that sort of thing here.
Fair.
Unfortunately, I don't really have the knowledge to make it myself, but...
What?
Well, it's possible, if the party's big enough, we can maybe start looking at... I could maybe see if anyone from outside comes in. How long is this party gonna last? Are we just going until the ship's ready?
We'll start with a ball, if all goes according to plan. Don't know how the people... I guess the people don't need to know about their king until after. We just continue the revelry. It maybe spreads into town and turns into a festival if that merriment continues.
Oh, yes. The more merriment, the better.
Oh, of course.
I was just thinking. Well, if I do find a way to summon some friends, you should be warned that they're not going to be like me. And with you being the way that you are, I don't want them to give you too much attention, if you know what I mean.
Would they serve me? Watch over this land? That's the question.
How are you defining serve?
If I gave them in order to protect this area, they could feed on outsiders and scum.
As long
Not
as
scum as in like yucky, but like scum as in people who
they don't like.
People who the queen doesn't like.
Maybe. That could go really, really wrong. I don't think there's many places around that are crewed by demons. But I mean, I'm not gonna say you shouldn't try. I was kind of hoping that we'd get some more company on this ship from my sisterhood.
Well, we'll see what happens, but I feel we've got adequate support on the ship for now. If we do take over this city and release it to the magic-wielding world, it'll need some more protection than just a queen with a pact. I don't know how powerful this pact will be and what it will grant her.
Igmarel sort of, meaning no offense.
Please.
And of course, he already draws the blade and like sets it against like her side here. As her symbol of readiness if it does cause offense. Your powers are not quite that of Lady Valencia's.
Not yet.
And you would be aware of the strength of her pact with you.
Mm-hmm.
So it would stand to reason that your pact might be weaker.
Yes.
Or of a similar level at the very least.
Mm-hmm.
From how that began. She sheathes the blade.
Yeah.
Thus, it might be wise to make sure that she, this queen, can fend for herself before we introduce other aspects that she might not be able to contend with.
I guess we will be here for a few days. Let's see how tonight goes, and then we'll play it from there.
Of course.
So, about this party. I think during the party I will be giving a speech. While I'm doing so, I kind of look to Glimmer.
Yeah.
What CR is Glimmer?
Ooh, that's a good question. I'm not totally sure.
Mm-hmm.
I'll say she's like a 4.
Like a 4?
Yeah.
We could do a giant subterranean lizard.
Thinking polymorphs?
Yeah. Yeah, or a stegosaurus. No, we're gonna make her a big slippery little snake.
Okay.
Here's the plan. At the beginning of the party, Glimmer will, if you don't mind, I'll change you into a snake, probably.
You'll turn me into one.
Just shortly, just for an hour.
Okay. Yes.
And no, not at the beginning. During the festival, or during the ball, we'll all mingle. Then you and I will go off for a little bit. I'll turn you into a snake right before I give my speech. At that point, you will we'll find the vault beforehand. You'll head there and make a bit of a scene, if you can, in which I hope the guards would immediately alert King and I, and we will come help. Or you make your way into the vault. If we can get you in, I'm going to ask the king to show me the vault, and then I can bring us into the vault. You cause a commotion in there, the guards will enter. We'll be notified, come with the king. Your job is to slither around, just kind of stay out of reach if you can. Hopefully you won't get hit. It won't hurt you while you're in the beast form, it'll hurt the beast. If they end the beast, you'll revert to your own self, but we won't worry about that because by that point we'll be in.
Yes.
We'll dispatch the guards, the king, get you to snake a little chomp 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 on them. And then...
Do I have to eat them?
No, just some bite marks, just to make it believable.
I see.
And then the only issue is how do we frame... We could have one of the guards or the townspeople say they were a shapeshifter and their magic was stifled by the field and bring one of them in as...
Igmarel, do we have any spare spellcasting focuses that we could plant on them? A spell scroll, perhaps?
I've got quite a few of those, but none that I'm willing to part with.
I understand.
I have some filters we could give them. Potions.
Potions might act as proof that they were magically inclined.
Oh, I think I have a book. Yeah, we'll give them a potion. Oh, I think I gave... Oh, I have an arcane focus and a holy symbol. But it's a holy symbol of Lyra. I'll give them a filter. Filter of love. As well as a potion of healing. We'll get it back when we end them. Say they were a shapeshifter. Confiscate the potions, but unfortunately we couldn't bring the king back.
What is this sort of... And then we party more?
Well, we let the queen know, and she will decide what we do.
Do you think she'll want a party after that?
I don't know. But I say we give her the... If the town is having a good time, we could say it's in her best interest to allow the festivities to continue, not alert them of the king's death, but say that the magic wielder who destroyed the ruins has been dealt with. Leave out the bit about the king for the people and celebrate that they're safe once more.
Igmaril will kind of ponder for a moment. A suggestion?
Please.
What you're looking for is a scapegoat in one of these guards. Are there any among the court who you think it would be beneficial to eliminate, rather than some nameless wretch? If there's someone who you think might be an opponent in the future.
Opponent to the queen?
To you.
To me.
It might be in our best interests to frame them instead.
Sir Legan, perhaps?
You might suggest that he join you.
I might.
The more opponents we take out tonight, the better off this kingdom of yours will be.
Yes. We'll bring Sir Legan. And... no, we can leave Sir Legan. We'll bring the captain of the guard. He's already charmed by us. As long as we don't harm him, he won't harm us. We can leave him for the end.
Very good. Igmaril sort of, shall I join you somewhere?
Yes. We'll bring you into the vault as well and hide you among the riches. You can come out when the fighting starts.
Of course. I will emerge whenever you call for me.
Well, looks like we should head. No, Igmaril, I think you should stay here and guard the ship just in case.
As you command.
Yes. Igmaril, I'm torn. I feel like you're pretty safe here, but at the same time, like the ship is pretty safe. I don't want to necessarily leave...
Miria?
Miria! Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I don't want to leave Miria on her own just in case anything should happen here, and I feel like the ship is quite an important thing to us.
Of course.
So maybe you stay here.
Yes.
I don't think they have much that could harm me here.
I doubt it. She kind of stands. Well then, I will remain here. I wish you an effective festival.
Thank you. And with that, I'll take Glimmer and Ornessa and head back to the palace to try and find the king.
Now you walk past the guards here. It's 6 of them again. The other 2 are just messengers. They're kind of like giving you a look there. So back to the castle.
Yes.
All right. How's your ship coming along?
She's working on it. I would ask that you all don't go on my ship. Just in case. I don't think you need the instructions, but...
What happened to the guard you brought on?
He's recovering from the questioning. Someone had a hold on his mind and, well, we didn't want them to... Whoever it was that broke in.
Make a deception check. Wow.
23.
23?
Yeah.
very close.
Whew.
But
What
no,
did they roll?
one rolled a natural 19, that's all I'll say. But alas. They all kind of like nod, and you were able to head back to the castle.
And I'll quickly just message to Igmaril.
Yep.
If any guards come on the ship that we're not instructed to, I told them not to. I'm not responsible for their safety should they board my ship.
My blade is warm, and they are made of butter.
That was beautiful.
As you're able to return,
Yes.
the king is sort of pacing around in his chamber, like the throne room here.
Yeah.
But preparations are being kind of thrown together here.
Wonderful.
There is chaos down below,
Mm-hmm.
and up above there is a different sort of not more frantic, but more like
Organized chaos.
organized chaos. Yeah, as people are like setting things up, a big table's being arranged.
Mm-hmm.
The king sort of turns as he sees you, walks over and speaks in kind of like a hushed, almost excited whisper. Are we expecting this festival to pour out into the streets?
Well, if we find whoever did this, I would hope the city would find reason to celebrate.
Of course.
The more merriment, the better.
Yes, oh, very good. You're most wise. As he sort of orders you, yes, into the courtyard. More tables, and I want every baker we have working on this.
Oh, nice.
As like people are coming and going, and they're like craftsmen and things. Big tents are being pitched.
Nice.
There's not a lot of courtyard space, but it's dense.
Yeah. Is it Majesty or Highness for a king? Both?
Yeah, I would say Highness is probably more accurate here.
Fair. Your Highness, if you would, I'd like to see the defenses you're putting up around the vault. Maybe see if there's anything we can do inside.
Of course, if you'll follow me.
Mm-hmm.
And as he is charmed, he will not take you down to the cave to access like that tunnel. He will take you through the service tunnels again to his own sort of private quarters. Not his room, but there is an elevator, like a lift that he can like lower.
And it's going like to the caverns.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Not quite to like the main chamber, but through these like kind of stone tunnels, he leads you to this kind of vault door.
I'm bringing Glimmer and Ornessa with
Yes.
me. So they all know how to get there.
Definitely no objections on his part. As he sort of, yes, we do have piles of gold
Yes.
down in the main cavern. However, our treasures are here.
Is this the only entrance? The only access?
To this vault, yes.
Wonderful. Is this where your most precious treasures are kept?
It is, yes.
This is where they'll hit then, if that's their goal.
What sort of defenses would you suggest?
So how did we get here? We went through his chambers, down an elevator.
Yes, you could presume that the throne room isn't the only access to the lower floor. It's just the one he took you through.
Yeah.
So there's probably 2 ways into the lower area at least, from which there's a side path to a little lift that drops, and then you go through these kind of maze-like caverns.
Okay.
How
far would you say we kind of went down and around?
Several hundred feet with all the wraparounds and things.
If it was how the crow flies, could I kind of...
Oh, like through the walls?
Yeah.
You could be probably about 20 feet above this in one of your chambers.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Roughly speaking. Like where your guest room was is a lot of stone, but it's kind of under that.
Cool. But I've seen the vault now. I know what it looks like.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Yes, I think you should put a few guards at like maybe 3 or 4 at each entrance.
Yes.
If there's more than one to this.
With silver weapons.
If that is what you wish, yes. Any precautions you can take are better.
Of course.
And then have a messenger, someone swift. Should anything happen, they will come and warn you and I at the ball.
Yes. A messenger and 2 guards. It will be done.
They will warn you, myself, and the captain of your guard, and we will go if anything should happen. Not frighten the people or Her Highness, Her Majesty.
Of course, discretion.
Yes.
Yes. And the festivities, they will remain?
I think that's best until
I see.
we know exactly what we're dealing with. Best not to cause panic.
Yes, best not to. Brae.
Yes.
He looks at you with like this full sincerity. I lied to you
Oh?
before you gave me your blessing.
Yes.
The crystal.
It's gone.
How did you know? It's not even accusing, it's just like full just like shock.
Well, that was the only thing I think you might have lied to me about, but thank you for telling me the truth.
Yes, of course. I value your help more than anything.
Of course.
As you head back up.
Mhm.
Okay.
Is it just him, the girls, and I down here?
At the moment, yes. It's you, Glimmer, Ornessa, him.
I'm gonna message to Ornessa.
Mhm.
Your suggestion before of taking his form.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that would be the best course of action here?
Her hand is already like linked with his. Like the fingers kind of interlaced. She kind of steps next to him. Brae, I'm never gonna say no to a free meal.
Well, Your Majesty, why don't you tell us all about the nobility in your kingdom? What time is it right now?
Probably closer to noon at this point.
Okay.
But Ornessa will kind of like put up a finger.
Mm-hmm.
Be like, Brae?
Mm-hmm.
Well, not even bothering with telepathy.
Yeah.
I can speak with him telepathically.
Mm-hmm.
Give me a few minutes.
Wonderful. Learn everything you can about his mannerisms, his court. Remember as much as you're able.
And then
I'm hungry.
she sort of like bats her eyes a little bit. And kind of like gets right up kind of eye to eye with this king. And you just hear this like rapid fire exchange of telepathy as she questions him on everything she might need, taking a few minutes to like learn who these nobles are, these different things.
Yeah.
After which, she kind of like look back at you. So like by the collar leads him around a corner.
I'll go take some time to produce the phylactery.
Yep.
And come back.
You come back. Another minute or so goes by. Vanessa's, doing her thing. As she kind of like steps around the corner in the king's robes here, quickly changing her face, leans down and plants a kiss upon your phylactery. And as King Galeron rises, he looks to you kind of like stern with the beard. What am I going to do about my dress?
We can pack it up.
Okay. And goes over, comes back with it like draped over his arm.
We'll maybe put it in here and I'll like open my bag.
Okay. Sets it in.
And I would like to, with the help of Ornessa and... Where's the body?
Around the corner, splayed out on the ground.
Are there kind of like piles of riches or like...
Those would all be in the vault itself.
We're in the vault.
He took you to like the vault door, like through the caves.
Oh, I want to go into the vault.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. To see what it looks like inside so I can dimension door in.
Yes. In that case, yes, there are like piles of gold, mostly gold here, lots of silver and copper. Nothing really magical to speak of. There's like a scepter, like several like pieces of jewelry and crowns. Mostly in that vein, like finery.
I want to bury him in gold.
Sure.
Just take some time and... so that the body's fully concealed by some of it.
Yeah. When I sort of, and is that it?
How fine does the jewelry look?
It's pretty nice.
Yeah?
Nothing... It varies, right? Like you have stuff that's like 15 gold jewelry up to like probably closer to 100, 250 gold.
Yeah, I'll take a couple of like the finest.
Sure. I'll say you get a sapphire circlet.
Ooh.
Worth 250. And then there are a set of like 3 rings of like a bracelet that are all kind of loosely chained together, also worth 250. It's gold with ruby inlay.
Gold, ruby, bracelet?
Yeah, or it goes kind of up to like, it covers like your whole
cuff?
forearm. Yeah.
Whoa.
Like 3 rings of like gold chain, all with like decorum between them. But it's one piece essentially.
So like arm cuff?
Sure, arm cuff works.
250?
Yeah.
And I'm going to shove that in my bag.
As you're doing that, the king is going around
Mm-hmm.
and, like plucking off the most delicate stuff he can find.
Yeah.
And, like, one of them's like a ring, and he kind of like starts like holding it up to his nose to kind of like drape it up over his face, like some sort of like face jewelry here. And kind of like throws it aside, goes over to another one, puts on like a little ring, kind of like inspecting the nails.
Would that fit your hands though?
Oh, probably not. No, so the hand would have to shrink as he's
Oh,
like putting it on. Becomes a lot more dainty.
Yeah.
I
guess she can change the size of her hand to fit that.
Yeah.
Convenient.
Mm-hmm. Like it's peeking through, kind of like throwing some aside.
Yeah.
But pocketing like a lot of little rings and such.
Yeah.
As he kind of turns, we're coming back here for the rest of it?
Well, if this is my city, it will be mine anyways.
Oh,
we'll leave it
excellent.
for now.
Okay. Jumping out all these rings and these different little pieces.
Nice.
As Glimmer's just kind of like in awe at all this, like, oh. Well, they're a little more well off than I thought.
They are, aren't they?
Well,
I think we have what we need for now. The plan stands of Glimmer, I'll bring you into the cavern when the party starts. How do we alert? Just give me one moment, my friends. Try and figure out how, now that the king is us, how should we go about this? How do we protect the king or protect the realm from whatever the danger is? Or there was just no... There has to be a danger that was to begin with. You know what I mean, girls?
well, yeah. Those people who destroyed that crystal.
Yeah, but who? That's the question. And how?
Well, the magic was deactivated. That's why you cast those spells.
Magic is deactivated, but who do we frame and how do we do it? I don't think with our charm that we could...
I can still charm people.
Yes, you can still charm people, but I don't know how far the charm would go if they're in danger. It seems that it wears the charm off.
Not really.
No?
I mean, as long as they're not getting hurt. And as long as we get them real quick.
Fair. So I'll polymorph one of the guards into... What's the CR of the guards? Low, probably.
Like 1/8 kind of thing.
Oh my.
There might be 1/4. There is a 1/8, yeah.
Oh my.
Though I'll say for this, consider them 1/2 because some of them might have different traits. You don't really know.
Okay, cool. A space eel. Swarm of... Oh no. A space eel is half. We could bring them in as a fiendish giant spider.
Well, you can choose the appearance of the animal, right? A little bit?
I can.
You can make it like a spooky spider.
Mm-hmm.
And Brae, your charm doesn't work like mine.
No.
You don't have a limit like I do you? On how many people you can charm?
Just one.
Just one?
I believe so. Or it doesn't specify?
I don't believe you have a limit.
Oh.
It is the Cambian's fiendish charm.
It doesn't really say, I guess. Oh, so I can do as many people as I want.
Yep.
Oh, that's wicked.
So if we really want it to be a conspiracy...
We could do a few.
Yeah, if you feel like it.
It could be some people, their powers were suppressed, and now that it's open, they're taking advantage.
Yes.
Do you think... Because polymorph doesn't harm. Do you think that would break the charm? Someone who's polymorphed.
So the question is which?
If I polymorph someone, would that break the charm?
No.
Because then we could get them to a spider to scurry in or a few spiders, or a few swarms of things. We could get one giant spider and 2 swarms of spiders if we got 3 people.
You can't turn them into a swarm because that's multiple creatures.
Oh,
yeah, it has to be a singular beast.
Oh, okay. So a few spiders then.
Yeah.
It's just a fiendish giant spider.
Yeah.
It's a medium beast. That can bite people. Is that acceptable, DM?
Probably, yeah.
Okay. We'll change them into spiders, have them scurry in, and once they're in and kind of caused a ruckus in the middle, we will quickly dispatch them, you and I, and then the realm is safe. They'll pop in and say, now that the magic is unleashed and our power is back, my siblings and I will be taking charge of this place. And then the 3 of us will quickly pew pew pew, and wham bam boom, the realm is safe. Later on, after all the festivities, the king can maybe meet his end with a couple more rogue members. And that'll be that.
This is sort of what I'm convinced.
Wonderful.
Want to go start this party?
Let's go start this party.
Okay. And we will start the party next time.
Session.
But some ground was covered. Some plans made.
Let's go.
Thanks for listening, listener.
Join us next time for a wild and kooky party brought to you by Brae and Friends.